gonna come here? Come on. Hi. Come up. Good boy. Hi, baby.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome over to your Delta Flight 370. Flight routes are located in
Hark how the bows, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, raising their sound. Oh, hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas.
So while we have a bit of a drive here, I wanted to talk about budget travel. This trip to Washington State from Los Angeles, California cost me a total of $63.45. Airport self-parking for 5 days cost me $52.25. My round-trip Delta first class flight cost me $11.20. The car rental was free and accommodation was free. My car rental was to be $196.23, but I used 15,698 points. For accommodation, this was a work trip for me, and one of the perks of being a content creator is sometimes getting comped accommodations in exchange for copious amounts of marketing and advertising material that can be used by the company.
Hey guys, I just had to pull over on the side of the road. It's raining outside now. I'm like 5 minutes away from my rental, and I just had to pull over because first of all, rain. Secondly, it's chill outside, like it's 50 degrees. And so I miss it. You know, I love LA. I love the constant sunshine. I love the heat. I mean, it was like 100 degrees yesterday in LA. But, you know, the beauty about living in California, I know everyone's leaving right now, but the beauty about living in California is you can hop a flight like an hour and a half north to like Washington and be immersed in the trees, these like 500-foot trees. I mean, they're so tall. And like this green moss, like look at all this moss on the trees and just the foliage. So you don't get this foliage in LA. And so I just had to pull over and show you guys. I'm on Low Creek and Northeast Old Cascade Highway. And if you literally come here at this time, like in October, mid-October, I don't know what it's like any other time of the year, but right now, but the moss on these trees is just absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. Look at this moss. I just think it's really pretty. It's gorgeous. Well, I don't mind the rain. It's like green here and it's beautiful, and there's like these huge mountains right here. Huge. Which this doesn't even do it justice.
Airport parking is a bit cheaper if you, number one, book in advance, and number two, book self-parking, obviously, as opposed to valet. I like the Hilton LAX. It's the best and it's reliable, and the shuttles leave every 5 to 10 minutes, and you have the option to choose between valet or self-parking. A couple of years ago, I decided to pick my favorite airline and sign up as a member, and only focus on booking them from that day forward. I knew it would pay off, and it did, really quickly. Delta is my favorite US-based airline, and I've never had any negative experiences with them, which says a lot for air travel. My medallion status automatically gets me bumped up to first class if there's a seat available, and lucky me, there was for both of these flights. First class for $11.20 is not a bad deal. For the car rental, I decided to use my Chase Ultimate Rewards points. I get points on practically anything I spend while using the card, and it adds up actually pretty quickly. This past week I headed up to Washington for work and stayed in this incredible getaway in the mountains. Keish nor I had never been in Washington. It was actually one of those 3 states that I had yet to visit besides Maine and Alaska. I was thrilled to be able to experience the Pacific Northwest in the fall. Fall had just passed its peak, but I did not care so long as I was surrounded by evergreens and cool, crisp, clean air for a change. The rental company that I went through was called Treeline Rentals, and they have a bunch of really unique kind of chalets and A-frames and nice homes in Washington, situated amongst the trees and in the mountains, and they're just really peaceful, nice getaways in nature and kind of away from everything, which is what I absolutely love. I'm a huge nature person. The nearest grocery store to the place where I was staying was around 25 minutes away, so what I did was on my way in, I made sure to get as much groceries as I would need for the week. So I had 3 full days up here in Washington, and I did have a big project that I was working on. This was a work trip for me. It wasn't really vacation or anything like that. With that said though, I'd planned on going on at least one really big hike. The hike that I wanted to go on and I planned to go on was 9 miles long, and that was to Kolchak Lake. It's a place that I found online through research, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and the hike looked really challenging, but something that I was up for the challenge for. It looked just incredible. The problem is I would have had to leave at 3 a.m. to be there at 4:30 to start the hike around 5 to kind of beat the crowds. I wasn't sure if there were going to be crowds this kind of late in October, but I did want to go at it alone. I didn't want to have to be around people all the time, plus with COVID and everything, I just wanted to kind of be alone. And for that, you had to leave early. But bears are most active in the early spring and late fall, and here it is late fall. They're also most active at dusk and dawn, and I would have been going at dawn. I was also going to be hiking alone, and I didn't have bear spray with me. So I did feel that it was kind of a little bit of a risk for me to go on this hike this time around, just given all of those ailments. I've done a lot of hiking in my day, a lot of solo hiking, and I don't really have a huge fear, but the other issue was that it was 14 degrees up on the mountain, and it was kind of going to be snowing that day on and off, and I just made the executive decision that it probably wasn't the best idea for me to go on that hike during my short visit in Washington this time around. So next time, I'm definitely going to go on that hike. I'd love to go in the late summer. Early fall would be awesome to really kind of see that foliage. The other hike that I was going to go on, I'll put the name up here on the screen, but I was super excited to go on this one as well because it looked just as beautiful. And yeah, unfortunately none of the hikes happened, mainly because of the weather. It was raining / snowing the whole time, and although it looks incredibly gorgeous and sunny in these videos, this is at 800 feet. It wasn't up in the mountains up at 9,000 feet, and the weather very much changes. Just from my window, I was able to see the snow on the trees. So I will go back, and I was happy that I was able to get a lot done with the project that I was working on here at this chalet. It had everything I needed. I loved lighting the fire every night. They're completely pet friendly, cats and dogs. The beds and the bedding was super comfortable. They literally had everything you could ask for. Their toilet seats were heated, which was incredible. And I just thoroughly enjoyed my time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this vlog. If you did, I know it was a little bit different, but if you did, please be sure to give it a like, as it really supports my channel, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And otherwise, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.